Shamria Dock, Dubai. An ordinary place with a special significance for me. It was on this spot 20 years ago that myself and my film crew stepped aboard a wooden dhow called Al Sharma, which took us down the Persian Gulf and across to Bombay. It was day 18 of our series Around the World in 80 Days. It was a journey that was to become one of the most unforgettable in my 20 years of travelling. This traditional sailing ship, known as a dhow, was my home for a week. It had no radio, no radar, and no cabins. We slept on deck and steered by the sun and the stars. We ate what the crew ate, augmented by the occasional fish caught on the end of a hook and line.
It's just my luck the day I'm off my food. They were two of the biggest fish you've caught.
Our crew, all Indians from Gujarat, soon became friends, laughing with me, more often at me, showing me how and what to eat, even looking after me when I was ill.
It certainly made me forget the pain I had. Bye-bye, Superman 2.
It was only when the time came to say goodbye that I realised how much I was going to miss them.
I've often wondered what happened to the Al Sharma and her crew and her captain, with whom we shared so much during that 8-day voyage. So I've come back here to try and find out.
Where our journey began, has transformed itself in 20 years, growing literally by the minute. This is an offshore property scheme to be built on sand and shale regurgitated from the seabed. It's a new world, or at least that's what the developers are calling it. Let me explain.
I'm in the Persian Gulf, but I'm standing on Great Britain. But this Great Britain is man-made. When it's connected up with over 300 other islands, it's going to be part of a mind-boggling property complex called, modestly, the world. And this being Dubai, they're not going to stop there. They're already building a neighbour out there, which is going to be called, equally modestly, the universe.
The dredgers and graders still have plenty of work to do on this new world, and so far I can't see much resemblance to anything in my atlas. But the higher you go, the more it begins to make sense. Isn't that South America down there on the left, and Antarctica below it? When it comes to fantastical schemes, Dubai already has form. The newly opened 1,500-room Atlantis Hotel Resort is only one of the properties built on a giant palm tree. To find out what life's like on a palm tree, I visit John Kelly Quinn, a Liverpudlian who lives tax-free in a gated community on Frond Dee.
This is the family room, which obviously leads out to the garden, which is obviously a beach, as you can see, and the pool there.
Got your pool and the sea, choice of bathing. That's incredible, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Yeah, that is the sea, isn't it?
That's not man-made, everything else is. That's quite natural.
Yeah, and I suppose all this sand,
This has all been dredged up from the seabed. As you can see, all the signature villas over the water there.
Yes, they're rather grand.
And then you've got quite a lot of stars who live here.
Footballers and...
lots of footballers.
Yeah.
Beckham's
got a house out.
I believe he's got a villa here as well.
Yeah.
Simon Cowell, I believe, he's got one here, Madonna.
Oh,
so there's quite a lot of people who've never seen them. Looking forward to it.
Probably no Sheffield United players.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Modesty is not a word you hear much in Dubai. In the 20 years since I was last here, this has become a city hooked on superlatives. Anything the rest of the world can spend, Dubai can spend more. Anything the world can build, Dubai can build bigger.
This is the tallest building in the world. About 700 meters right now. That's about 2,200 feet. And most people are speculating that it's going to get up about 3,000 feet, or about 900 meters.
Dubai has been called Las Vegas on steroids, and there seems no limit to its vaunting ambition as it sets about creating the city of the future. In Dubai, nothing is impossible. Whatever you want, you can have. The last time I skied was 10 years ago in America. But who needs the Rockies when you can have a metre of fresh-laid snow every day of the year, even when the temperature outside is hot enough to fry an egg? They don't manufacture much in Dubai, but snow they do make. 30 tons a day, 10,000 tons a year. Is this a miracle or a flagrant waste of the Earth's resources? I'll think about that as I go shopping. The Emiratis love shopping. They've turned their traditional souks and bazaars into state-of-the-art temples of consumerism, to which foreigners and locals alike are irresistibly drawn. Dubai hopes to attract 10 million tourists a year by 2010. The symbol of their ambition is the iconic and exclusive Burj Al Arab Hotel. At its gala opening, Tiger Woods hit a golf ball off the helipad. Forget 5-star. The Burj Al Arab is a 7-star hotel. And they should know. They awarded the stars themselves. Of course, there is a price to pay.
Welcome to the presidential suite. And this way is the living room, is the private cinema.
A private cinema?
Indeed, yes.
How much would this... There's a bar in every room. How much would this place like this set you back if I wanted to stay for a week, say?
It is £10,000 a night.
A night? £10,000 a night? Well, if I wanted to stay an hour, do a special rate?
No.
To get over the shock, I head for the bar, high on the 27th floor.
It seems a bit unexciting to have a beer here, and because, I've just seen the presidential suite
Yeah.
at £10,000 a night, so I think people have something a little bit more exotic here, do they?
People actually would. I mean, here is the world's most expensive cocktail. We have an offer.
I would expect you would in a hotel like this. So it's a very Dubai thing, that is, to have the biggest and most expensive. So what's in the world's most expensive cocktail?
It's made with 55 years old Macallan single malt Scotch whiskey, and the idea behind is to have a really outstanding, extraordinary cocktail. And the name, for instance, is 27321. That symbolizes the height of Burj Al Arab, 321 meters, and it serves on 27th floor we're sitting now in our bar. So the name is the price, and the price is the name. So
The price is the name. It's £27,321.
dirhams.
Oh, dirhams. Oh, wow.
So in pounds, we're talking about 3,600 pounds. Yeah?
For a 55-year-old Scotch, I mean, that's daylight robbery.
In the heart of the city, by the waterway they call the Creek, I'm relieved to find that there is something left of the Dubai I remember 20 years ago. Although the new city shimmers in the background, I've chosen to stay at one of the oldest hotels in Dubai. It's been here over 30 years. It's from here that I shall plan the next step of my mission to track down the Al Shama and the crew I got to know so well.
You've got three brothers.
I brought the original film out with me, and it's here that there are some important clues.
And everyone here is from the same part of India.
Same country. Kutch
Yeah.
Kutch Manvi, that's the nearest thing to an address. I know that Kutch is in the northern part of India, and Manvi is a town on its coast. That evening I find myself thinking about my old friends. Do they still live in Kutch Manvi? Are they alive or dead? 20 years is a long time. I have a useful lead. Close to the public beach on the down-market side of the Burj Al Arab is the offshore sailing club, where I'm to meet a Captain Bill Nelson. As head of ports and customs 20 years ago, Bill helped me find a dhow. Captain Nelson is now 86 and in poor health. Despite all that, he agrees to talk to me.
Captain Nelson, I think you didn't find us the dhow directly. You got someone to help us.
That's right. I got Khamis Mohammed, my assistant.
I remember Khamis, very good, helped us get provision.
He was a very good fellow.
Is he still around?
He is still around. In fact, he's the boss at the control station at Cordoba Bay.
So how would I get hold of him?
3451240. That is the operations room.
3451240. Okay.
And they will find him for you. All that, no doubt.
He helped buy me a blow-up bed, I think, for the odd thing to go around with Emirati buying an inflatable bed.
But yes.
First day you meet him, it was very comfortable. My contact Khamis, who works in the port, tells me the trading season has just resumed after the summer monsoon. There are dhows heading all over the Gulf and down to Somalia and Zanzibar, and he's found one going my way too. Allons-y, Passepartout.
I associate Khamis with the old port of Dubai, where we took on last-minute supplies before setting out. It still fizzes with life. I take an Abra, a water taxi, across the creek. This is one of the few pleasures left in Dubai that's still cheap. The journey costs only a few pence. I'm heading for the Office of Ports and Customs to meet Khamis again after 20 years. I have high hopes. His HQ is right on the neck of the creek. If Al-Shama has passed this way, he should know.
Ah, could this be the man? Khamis.
Michael,
Hey,
welcome back.
how are you?
Long
How
time.
are you?
Fine,
I
thank you.
never.
How are you?
I never.
How's nothing?
You don't look a day older.
Thank you very much.
You've got to seem the same to me now.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Great. Oh, but it's great to see you. You're running the customs now, I guess.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm the marine advisor now.
Yeah.
In Dubai.
I heard you're married.
Oh, really? Enjoyed it.
How many children?
2.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice.
2
Very
boys.
nice.
Yeah.
Ah. Do you know what happened to Al-Shama? Is it still sailing? And more importantly, what happened to the crew?
Unfortunately, I don't know what happened. That was the last time I've seen a Shama and the crew.
Right. So that day, 20 years ago, when we sailed away from Dubai, that was the last you saw of me and the last you saw of the boat. Yeah. Do you know where that? I mean, they were from
Gujarat.
Gujarat. I remember that. Yeah.
You would have to go to Bombay. Then from Bombay, you have to go to Gujarat to ask for the family by the name of Harun. They are the owners. So they will remember their men.
Okay.
Probably you will be able to find whatever you're looking for. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I suppose I shouldn't expect the pieces to fall together just like that. But I can't disguise a touch of disappointment. Maybe sensing this, Khamis has laid on a surprise. Using his influence, he's persuaded the crew of a dhow leaving Dubai to take me along for a ride.
Hey, yes.
They're Iranians, carrying a full cargo across to Bandar Abu Sher on Iran's Gulf coast. For a few hours, I can relive what once took me a week.
You write down. What would you write down for me when I was a baby? This tower isn't quite as pretty as Al Sharma, and I'm only on it for an afternoon, but already it brings back intense feelings, the feelings of being away from the rest of the world, and these guys I've only just met, very cheerful, very friendly, and it was extraordinary on the other Dhow during the 8 days how mutual incomprehension in the beginning gave way to friendship and then sort of genuine affection by the end, because we relied on them with all our technology, with all our gadgets. We depended on their seafaring skills to get us to Bombay, and I've never really had a relationship like that with any other group of people, quite different from my own at any other time on my travels. It was a unique relationship, and that's why I want to try and find out if some of those guys that we got to know so well at that time are still around.
My next destination must be Mumbai, Bombay as it was then, and after that Kutch Manvi is a strong possibility. But I don't want to go all that way unless I'm pretty sure the captain and crew are there. Whatever happens, I need a few more answers. 20 years ago I spent my first night in India here at the Taj Hotel, grubby and unshaven after a week at sea.
Welcome to the Taj, sir.
Thank you.
This time I'm greeted with a full VIP treatment, garlanded with marigolds, before being shown to the Rajput Suite, which has a famous history.
The Rajput Suite has had quite a few celebrities who've stayed in it over the years. In fact, John Lennon and Yoko Ono stayed there, and for 5 full nights they didn't leave the room even once. Please, after you.
Yes, not like any hotel door I've ever known. Oh, right.
It's quite grand.
Good, it is too, actually. I can see why I didn't want to come out for 5 days.
This is the entire suite is in a very Indian decor, as you can see. The Rajput was a dynasty in India, so the entire suite is designed to give that feel.
Yes, it does, isn't it? So it's unlike a hotel room. It is like a bit like a palace, isn't it?
It's absolutely fabulous, and the swing is very reminiscent of the old days when queens like to sit and look at the ocean.
Oh, lovely, lovely. That's amazing. I look forward to that anyway. So my bags will be sent up, will they?
No, you're in room 276.
News from room 276 is mixed. I've drawn a blank with Kamis contact Haroon, but I've had a piece of luck.
I have got a lead which comes from the BBC files of Around the World in 80 Days. And they tell us that Dukaran Morji and Sons were a company, were the brokers that organised Al Sharma's cargo. I talked to a man there called Digant Joshi, and he had inherited this business from his father, and he reckoned that he could find out some information about Al Sharma, about whether the crew is still around, which is very good news. He's busy, so it'll take a couple of days. He's got his business to run. But that was, I thought, a very good bit of news, and hopefully something will come through from him in the next couple of days. Very, very nice. Gives me time to look around.
This is Churchgate Station, one of Mumbai's busiest commuter terminals. A lady called Jyoti Namaste has agreed to meet me here and throw me into the city at the deep end.
How many people cram on these trains every day?
6 million to 6.5 million people travel every day from North Bombay to South Bombay, and the same number back home in the evening. We've been described as sardines in a box.
But believe it or not, this is the quiet time of day. The time to see the tiffin wallahs in action. They carry on their heads 500,000 lunchboxes containing hot meals made by beautiful housewives for their husbands in the city.
Even connected, push it on the trains in the suburbs. It takes about half an hour, 1 hour for it to come to Churchgate Station that you see here.
Outside the station, the daily miracle begins. The tiffin wallows carry the lunches across a busy road to be sorted. How they're sorted is a mystery, for the lunchboxes bear neither names nor addresses.
The second counterparts were taken out. And the third man will reshuffle all the tins over here. That's what they're doing. That's what the systematic chaos is. The third man, they reshuffle. He puts 2 tins there, 1 there, he takes 3 from there, 4 from there. So they've been brought from different suburbs, they've been reshuffled here, and they go to different offices at Narimal Point.
But don't they lose
Not at all. One in a trillion. American magazine Forbes says the accuracy rate is 99.999%. They've been given the 6 sigma accuracy rate, as much as Motorola and General Electric. And they're only in Mumbai, nowhere else in the world. They tried to call them to Italy to have a system put there, and they said your trails are not on time, so we can't do it. Prince Charles was here. He wanted to see them in action, and he was so happy. He gave 3 of them a free ticket to come to his second marriage to England.
Do you think it's a bit selfish of the Indian men to expect a sort of hot meal every lunchtime delivered to them?
Well, it's still a woman's privilege to cook. And men in India, this is a male-dominated country to a certain extent. Times are changing very fast. But then they would love to have a hot meal. And they are a little spoiled, Indian men. So they expect a hot meal from the wife. Like I'm working, he still gets a hot meal.
It's an example of the paradox that is Mumbai, a state of chaos in which everyone knows what they're doing. Like this laundry, to which Jyoti has brought me for practical as well as scenic reasons.
It's quite an extraordinary place.
This is the biggest open-air laundry unique to Mumbai, where the dhobis or the washermen wash the clothes here. There are 500 of them. This is the biggest laundry in Mumbai. The stone is supplied to him by the government. It's passed on from father to son. They pay nothing for the stone. He uses a cake of soap, not of a very high quality. But see the clothes, they're sparklingly white.
I actually had these quite good pair of trousers, and we're filming in Dubai on the Dow, and the Dow is absolutely covered in tar, and they're a real mess. I mean, is there anywhere, could they do them here, do you think?
Oh yes, the dhobis do an excellent job.
Yeah.
You will see them, see the whiteness of the clothes, see the dirty water, and they will wash it in 5 minutes. It will dry in the hot sun, and they'll iron it for you and send it back to your hotel. Let's see how
Just
the
here they are. Shall I show them to you? All right, there we are. You see it's on the back there.
No problems.
That's oil, isn't it?
It is oil. The washing machine will not take it out, but the dhobis will do an excellent job.
I thought I was going to have to throw them away. Hello. Look at that. Oil, I think. Oil tar. Is it possible to save the trousers?
Yes, you will.
Oh.
There he goes.
There we go. Yeah.
With the brush, with a cake of soap,
Yeah.
and he will hit it.
You know, we've got at home, we've got a whole cupboard, my wife's got stain removers. Every kind of stain.
They don't work in India.
No, this works.
This works.
So he's washed them now, and now he's...
Hitting it on the stone, the dirt comes out. The buttons are broken. Your wife will have to redo the buttons.
Don't say that. I'll do them myself. Yes, I know what you mean. So that's the price you pay for getting them really clean.
Yes.
Has he done it?
Yes, he's putting it in the clean water now.
Yeah.
He's dipped it in the clean water.
Brilliant. I'll shop all my laundry.
None of the clothes are lost. Maybe a few buttons are broken. That's the only thing.
Yeah. I tell you, never better. Thank you. Never look cleaner.
I return to the heart of Mumbai, crisp and spotless in the trouser area, to the Cafe Leopold. It's cheap and cheerful, and I'm told is a favourite haunt of talent spotters looking for Western extras for Bollywood films. My luck is in. All I need now is to make myself look irresistible, but subtly.
Waiting to be discovered.
Well, you what? Yes, that's what happens. Lucky day today. I'm actually coordinator myself. I'm coordinating for some extras in Bollywood.
And what sort of pay do you get?
They usually get around 1,000 rupees for an 8 hours job. Normally 6 to 8 hours.
10 quid? That's slave labour.
But it's 1,000 rupees. That's a lot of money in India.
What if you have a dialogue part? What if you've got words?
It's the same thing actually. It's more or less.
So what kind of part would you see a 65-year-old man like me play?
Maybe a manager in a big office. Maybe a CEO of a big company like Microsoft.
Yeah, John, I like the way you're talking. CEO, that's right.
Why not?
You said you do Vickers.
I don't get the part, our dates clashed, but I do get something better. The chance to meet one of the legendary figures of Bollywood, writer, producer and director Mahesh Bhatt. He's currently shooting a new film at a beachside villa outside Mumbai.
Hey, Michael. Come. Oh, Mahesh, what an honour to meet you.
Thank you, thanks. This is Shubufta Rafiq.
Hello. How are you?
How's the journey? Long drive?
Yes, to get to this
Come into my
paradise.
Come into my palace and the spider will fly.
Fly will be on camera.
Mahesh Bhatt's latest film is called Joshan, Celebration.
The sea will not have an animal quality.
The picture features Bollywood starlet Shahana Goswami and Pakistani heartthrob Humayun Saeed.
Did you know your fellow actors?
No, well, we've all met for the first time.
Fred one was just killed. Terribly sorry. You got the part.
Nothing to do with that, is it?
Quite a fad to be in this industry, and people are leaving their investment banking jobs and coming into being ADs for 10,000 rupees, from 20 lakh jobs. So it's quite inviting and quite. I think everyone wants to kind of be in the field, if not necessarily an actor or an actress. But yeah, there's a huge influx of people coming into this world.
Mahesh may be a Bollywood veteran, but his appetite for film seems undiminished. He's seen Bollywood evolve from escapist song and dance spectaculars to more realistic dramas like the one they're shooting today.
Correct, very good.
In an industry where an on-screen kiss was taboo for years, Mahesh has been a liberating, often controversial figure.
I am one of those filmmakers who has been accused of introducing soft porn to Bollywood, and I plead guilty of doing that, if you call that soft porn. If we had to seduce the consumer into the cinema halls, we needed to change the way we were making movies. So we kind of eroticized our movies. We put in the sexual component a little more stronger than it was used by our predecessors. And we kind of raised the bar. And,
can you give an example of this? Like you see a couple in bed together?
Yeah, I mean, you had passionate kisses now. And you also had premarital sex. We also had live-in couples. We also had a man and woman getting into multi-partner relationship. So all that started happening, and that was what the young felt comfortable with, because that was their life. And I would say that the younger generation is less hypocritical than the earlier generation. The earlier lot wanted sex, but it wanted it through the back door. The mantra of our predecessors was, good people fall in love, bad people have sex.
Back in the city, I've had a call back from my contact Digant Joshi. He runs the biggest Gao operation in Mumbai from his HQ in the busy streets near Princess Dock. His head office, when I eventually find it, is hardly what you'd expect of a shipping mogul, and Digant's information is not at first encouraging.
What news of Al Sharma?
Yeah, Al Sharma, when you were there 20 years back, the owner was Talib Nur Muhammad Juneja. He went bankrupt and he cannot maintain the launch. So just 8 months, 9 months back, he sold it to someone else. And that person was taking the launch from Veerawal, Gujarat to Jamsala for the repairing. And during that voyage, Al Sharma sank into the water 6 to 8 months back.
So I just missed seeing.
Just missed it.
And did the crew survive?
Crew were saved by another launch, which was flying along with Al Sharma.
Would this be the same crew that I sailed with 20 years ago?
Different crew, because the owners sold it to somebody else and all the crew were changed.
Any news of Captain Suleiman and the crew?
Yeah, Captain Suleiman is in Mandvi, Kutch, Gujarat.
Mandvi.
Mandvi has 2 portions. One is a Mandvi and one is a Salaya Mandvi,
Right.
which is near the sea. So you can go to Salaya Mandvi and ask anybody about the captain of Al Sharma, Suleiman, and you can easily get about him.
What's the best way of getting to Mandvi?
Yeah, you can take a train from Mumbai which goes to Bhuj.
Yeah.
The train name is Kutch Express. You can go to Bhuj, and from Bhuj, the Mandvi is 60 kilometers away from Bhuj.
One thing Indians take very seriously is astrology. And before I leave, there's someone I'd very much like to meet again. Jagjit Upal was the hotel's resident astrologer. And when I consulted him 20 years ago, he was uncannily accurate.
Can you tell me now what lies in store for me in the next 2 or 3 months?
I'll say it's smooth sailing. It's pleasant journey and on schedule. If not, you may even try to complete it ahead of schedule. If you've lost some time, there are more possibilities of your recovering that time. You're full of the spirit of adventure.
He's agreed to give me an update.
We are hoping to try and find the crew of Al Sharma. Have you any idea from the charts and what you find out whether we will find them or whether we'll be lucky?
Yes, you will. You will find them. And you will get interesting input too.
Will they be pleased to see me?
Very much pleased to see you. Very much pleased to see you.
I'm going to ask you about, you saw me 20 years ago, and with chart like that, can you tell enough to talk about my character? Do you have any sort of
yes
about that?
Yes. According to your chart, you come out as a very emotional person. A very emotional, family-oriented, I would say even a spiritual person. I mean, you read more meaning to life than what is apparent. You question life. And I must say that your work, the journeys around the world, to the mountains, to North Pole, Himalayas, Tibet, was not only a journey to make something spectacular which you have made, but it was a journey within the self. It was rediscovering yourself.
So do you think that this travelling that I've done in the 20 years since I saw you, which I never expected to do, is that part of an ongoing process? Do you think I'll ever just say, stop, that's it?
No, it's an ongoing process. Journeys will carry on and you will keep travelling. That's part of your nature.
Hear that, Helen? Sorry.
The journey goes on.
The journey goes north now. I find myself booked on the Kutch Express under the name of Mr. Polin. I only hope that's me. The overnight sleeper will take me northwest via Ahmedabad in Gujarat to the terminus at Bhuj, capital of the old princely state of Kutch, close to the Pakistan border. I'm up there. Hello. Nice greeting. Oh, thank you. No. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, that's very kind. A little girl? Boy or girl? Girl, yeah. What's your name? Oh, yeah. She loves trains. Very good, yeah. Thank you. Anyone else like one? As dawn breaks, we're in Gujarat, home state of the hero of Indian independence, Mahatma Gandhi, and hopefully the crew of Al-Shama as well. We've come a long way north in the night, to a part of India I don't know.
Gandhi Dam Junction, because Gandhi was born very near here, and of course he died. He was assassinated exactly 60 years ago, the father of India, so rather important man from the Gujarat point of view. It's also why Gujarat is a dry state. It's encouraged the men not to drink because it was bad for them. So it's dry, and from what I hear, largely vegetarian as well. The people are supposed to be very jolly.
The Kutch Express is running over an hour late, but we're up country now and no one seems in much of a hurry. Nor does it help that stretches of the railway are single track. They're still maintained with meticulous zeal, not a little reminiscent of the old days of the Raj. Stops and 15 hours after leaving Mumbai, we reach the end of the line, at the town of Bhuj. Bhuj is the capital of Kutch, and I take a couple of hours to look around before going on to Mandvi. There are some fine buildings to see in Bhuj, but few of them escaped the devastating earthquake that shook the town on January the 21st, 2001, Republic Day, when the people of Bhuj, like the rest of the country, should have been celebrating. There was a colossal loss of life, and no one was untouched. The Maharaj of Kutch lost 3/4 of his palace, and what remains standing looks as if it could fall down any minute. Now the only occupants of its marble halls are birds that nest in the rotting ceilings. portraits stare into the void when dust covers the trophies of an era long past. Out in the centre of Bruges, optimism has returned to the rebuilt streets and people don't talk much about the earthquake. But no one's forgotten. Ranjana Machar has not forgotten.
They started shouting, earthquake, earthquake, and I came out.
Yeah.
As soon as I came out, our shop was collapsed.
The shop you'd just been in collapsed behind?
Collapsed, behind me.
You're a second away from being crushed yourself?
Yes.
And what was the scene outside here with just people?
They started running and crying and shouting. People and animals, dogs, they're just running here and there.
What did you do? Did you just run?
No, I just went and stand in the corner.
Oh. You must have prayed.
Yes.
Pray?
Yes. Of course.
Well, your prayers were answered because you're still here, but it was awful for the town, wasn't it? I mean, it was a big loss of life.
Yes. It's nearly 100,000.
Nearly 100,000?
All over Kutch.
All over Kutch, yeah.
The one thing I miss as I walk these hot streets is a refreshing glass of cold beer. I'm told there's only one place I might get one.
Gujarat is the only dry state in the whole of India, but if you're a foreigner you can get an exemption, and I'm told that I have to turn up with a copy of my passport, which I've got, a little Xerox of that, and also a certificate of where I'm staying. So I'm going to see if I can get a permit for the time I'm here, see whether the system of exemptions really works.
The surroundings aren't exactly convivial.
Give me your passport.
Writing down the place where I shall be staying in Mandvi. Stamping a passport.
You sign here.
Okay. What do I do now? Where do I buy the liquor? Just here. Oh, right. I'm sorry, I didn't see that at all. Okay. Hello. What do we think? 10 beers, 1 spirit? Okay. Fine. Spirits for him.
Well, at last I have the beer, but I'm not allowed to drink it until I'm at my hotel, and that's another 40 miles away. Mandvi, coastal town, 45,000 inhabitants, main business, shipbuilding. Best kept secret, resort hotel, right by the beach.
Yes, this is it, yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you. Thanks very much, Danish. I hope that will cover it. Thank you. Good. It's a dangerous ride.
The grandly named Mandvi Palace Beach Resort may turn out to be a row of tents, but these are no ordinary tents. These are 5-star tents, possibly even 7-star tents. Each one has a double bed, ensuite bathroom and loo, and air conditioning. Oh, it's a tough life.
Thank you very much. Oh, cool, lovely, cool.
And in the evening, with the sun well over the yardarm, I finally get around to that beer. What exactly am I doing here? This tented camp was first set up by the Maharao of Kutch to accommodate those private guests who'd come to visit him at his country palace, which is right next door to the camp, and open to the public. Having never met a Maharao before, I decided to pay him a visit. By the time I reach the palace, I'm getting a bit twitchy, but my gosh, is it worth the walk.
Did your family have this specially designed?
The Maharao, or to give him his full title, His Highness Sri Pragmalji Mandan Singhji III, couldn't have been more friendly as he invites me in. He's descended from a very old Kutch family and talks nostalgically of the days of an independent Kutch, before it was absorbed into Gujarat and had to accept a less relaxed regime.
Do you think there's any good reason why people shouldn't buy alcohol in Kutch or Gujarat?
There is a slight problem here. Kutch is a part of Gujarat state, which we were not a part of Gujarat state ever in our history. And Gujarat state, unfortunately, is Gandhian in this sense that they believe in prohibition and things like that, which is not necessarily very congenial to Buddhism. Mahatma Gandhi probably thought that a lot of people wasted their income on unnecessary things like alcohol, and which is not very healthy. But I'm sure I have had the pleasure in my life of meeting Mahatma Gandhi and getting his autograph, etc. I'm sure if he was alive today, he would have relented on that. But I'm sure that in due course, the change will come.
I wouldn't want anything to change here, not at sunset and not on this fantastic beach, which is, by the way, owned by the Maharao, as is the sea, or at least it is at high tide when the waves break onto his beach. But now it's back to business. Today's the day I must track down the captain.
Well, now we've got this far and actually found out where he lives, I'm going to see him. I think it's probably just as well I just want to have one last look to see what he looks like. And this is where I'm introduced to the captain.
Captain? Hello, good afternoon.
Very eager. That's right, yeah.
Very well, you speak English? Yes. Good. Where are you going to? Yes, sir. Where are you going to? You're going to Bombay? I go to Bombay, yes. I go to Bombay. I need a boat. Yes. Take me to Bombay. Oh, yes, why not? I'll take you to Bombay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think I should remember him. Well, I'm in the centre of Manvi, but it's not the sort of place that has maps or street plans, so I know I've got to get to Salaya, because I was told that by Digant in Bombay, so I'll just have to go and ask for Salaya. The end of the journey begins. Excuse me. Salaya. Oh, over there. Saleh. Abba. Can you tell me?
Very good.
Where is Salaya? Where is where? Manvi. Yeah. Manvi Salaya. Is over there. Okay. Oh, thank you. Abba.
Salaya, or Salaya, I'm still not quite sure which it is, proves to be on the other side of the creek. It's served by a distinctly no-frills ferry service.
Here I come. Hello, boys. Director Salaya. Hey. Nice outfit.
Once in Salaya, I have a chance to show off my few words of Gujarati.
Excuse me, sirs. Captain Hassan Suleiman, Kian Reche.
Here.
Up here? Follow this.
As Digant Joshi had forecast, here in Salaya everyone I talk to seems to know the captain, or be related to him.
Excuse me, Captain Hassan Suleiman Kian Reche. Okay. Thank you.
All directions lead to the waterfront, and extraordinarily, there's a dhow being built right outside the captain's front door. This won't be such a surprise for the captain. He knows I'm in town, but it'll be a surprise for me. I've no idea how he or I will react.
Oh my God! How are you, Michael?
Good to you. Oh, I recognize you.
How are you, Michael?
Oh, I'm very well indeed. Michael,
Come in, sir. Come in, sir.
Michael.
Okay, sir.
Oh, yes.
Okay, you come in, sir. They will
Become a big man.
Yeah.
Now become a grey head.
Very big
I
now.
become a grey head.
But you now very big now.
Very big.
We catch up with each other as he takes me on a walk through the shipbuilding yards.
How big was Al Shama?
Al Shama 250.
Yeah, just small.
Al Shama was tiny compared to some of the 2,000-ton dhows they're building here now. But still, they build them in the time-honoured way, by hand and eye and physical strength.
This is good, strong wood. Where's the wood from?
Malaysian.
Malaysian, ah.
The wood is coming from Malaysia.
Yeah. You have now
only one girl.
One girl, yes.
Married with Anwar, you know Anwar.
With Anwar, yes,
Anwar,
that's right.
Anwar, yeah.
And the marriage, was that a big thing? A lot of party?
Yeah, big
feast.
Big feast.
You pay?
Yeah, many times, sir. Before 18 years they are married.
Yeah, yes. Now that's great, yes. Whoops, whoa. Yeah.
Often in these last few days, I've tried to visualize where the captain and his crew might live, and this location is right out of central casting. I asked the captain if he'd heard about the program we made together.
Did people...
All of the world famous, you know, BBC World Service.
Yes,
famous in the
World Service, yeah.
Yeah, famous on the world.
And what do your friends say?
Yeah.
They like it?
Yeah, like it. I like it, sir.
Good.
Very good.
20 years from now, another 20 years.
Yeah.
We maybe see each other again.
Yeah.
I'll be very old man. You have to push me.
Yeah, okay. Sir, how many years after you come next time in the Mandvi?
Oh, I don't know. I have to ask my wife.
Later in the day, when I come back to the captain's house, I bring my DVD player, and Hassan in turn brings together some old faces from Al Shama's crew.
Yeah, I think one just have to... Oh, no disc.
We gather round. The chief engineer, the second engineer, the cabin boy Anwar, now married to the captain's daughter and father of 3 boys, and of course the captain himself.
You see, I have to wear glasses now.
Yeah.
When I last saw you, I could see very, very clearly. Now I have to wear these. Where are you? There you are. Oh, there we go, look.
I board our dhow, Al-Shama, which means candlelight in Arabic.
Look at me, look at my silly socks. There's a funny hat. There you are.
Captain has made sure the place is scrupulously clean. Ensures me proud.
Yes, yeah, there you are.
Anwar. That time was a very small boy, no? Anwar.
Yes, we got some more here of Anwar.
Now he's captain, Anwar, big captain.
Are you captain now? Oh,
He for 14 years,
fantastic.
He for 14 years.
There we are, that's right, going out. Yeah, I mean, this is yeah. Sad. Sad to see the ship. Sad it is no longer around. And who's that? Kasim.
Kasimov.
Oh yeah, he was such a lovely man.
Yeah, expert.
Since 1990.
Expert. My God. Expert, chief officer.
Oh, right, chief officer.
Yeah, dead.
Not dead. Yeah.
Before 4 years dead.
All right, yes.
Salim Ahmed, Ramzi Madam.
Yeah.
And Kasam. He's government. Dead. 3 men is dead.
Oh, yes.
The plumbing is basic. They favour the hole in the barrels. The approach is scorchingly hot by day and suicidal at night. But once installed, one enjoys direct contact with nature. This is rather a shock. It causes my bowels to lock solid for 3 days.
Oh, yes. I didn't know how to use that.
Whilst Ali Mamoon, the cook, produces 3 meals for 22 people every day.
You look at chapatis.
Oh, chapatis, yeah. He's making 70 chapatis. He's expecting compliments. Must be 40 chapatis there. Stop it! Stop making chapatis! Oh my God. There we go, yes. This is a bit... Very good food there. Very good. Nice.
Khichdi, you know khichdi?
Yeah, khichdi. Yes, that's right, khichdi.
Mohammed is coming. Bosan.
Mohammed was Al-Shama's bosun. He's the captain's brother and Anwar's father. Both of them had told me that he wasn't well, so I'm doubly happy that he's come to join us. He does seem to perk up a bit when he sees himself on film.
Good life. It's good life. Yes. Good climate and all together.
Here is Castle. Listening to the music, listening to Bruce Springsteen. While he listens to Lee Street Shuffle. Now, this is putting the sail up, I remember.
For the open sail.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah.
And other people.
You sang your song.
I go to Maru Janawar.
Such a baby!
Very small.
Yes, very sweet, but strong.
Now I'm his girlfriend.
I know.
For 40 years, yeah, old girlfriend, yeah.
But he's not safe.
Very good.
Oh, that's not so very good. That what you did, Palin, yeah, very good. Oh, yes.
So we sit and watch ourselves when we were 20 years younger, until we come to the final sequence of the voyage, when I bid them all farewell for the last time.
Yeah, oh, yes. Yeah, lovely smile. Yeah. Oh, yes, bye-bye.
Goodbye.
There you are, goodbye. I'm very sad to leave Captain Hassan and his crew. Passepartout and I trusted our lives to these people, and they responded with unquestioning generosity and openness. I know I shall never again on this journey enjoy such simple and straightforward friendships as I've made with the crew of the Al Shama. At this moment, it's almost impossible to accept that I shall never see them again. There we are. I didn't believe I would never see you again. And it's just as well, because I've seen you again. Excellent. There you go. Well, now we do another program together.
Other one?
Yeah. We'll get another boat out. We'll do it all over again. Okay? Then, after tea and all manner of hospitality, it's time for another farewell. Thank you so much. It's great to see you again.
How many years after you come here?
Well, shall we leave it another 20?
More 20?
There will be real mature men.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Okay,
and good luck to all your family. It's lovely to meet them all, and great to see the shows again.
Okay, goodbye, sir.
All right. See you soon. 20 years ago by very quickly.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Okay, bye, sir. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye, sir.
Whatever plans Hassan and I might make, I'm pretty sure that both he and I know that, this time, the chances are that we shall not see each other again.
Goodbye, sir. Careful, please, careful.
There's a brand new series starting tomorrow here on BBC HD as Professor Brian Cox explores the wonders of the solar system. That's here at 9. Back to tonight, and there's all new heroes next.